When Joseph became governor of Egypt, Joseph was made governor of all Egypt. First, there were 7 years of plenty. Then, there were 7 years of famine. The famine was all over the world, but only in Egypt was there bread. Whenever the people would ask for food, the king would say, "Go to Joseph." Joseph's father and brothers lived in the land of Canaan. The brothers of Joseph came to Egypt to buy food. Joseph immediately recognized them when he saw them, but his brothers did not know him. They presented themselves to Joseph and said that they had come to buy food, and that they were all sons of one man. They told him too that they had another brother who had remained behind with their father, and that another was dead. Joseph said to them, "You are spies. I shall not let you go unless your youngest brother is brought here. One of you can go to fetch him, and until he returns, the rest of you will be placed in prison." And Joseph did as he said. After 3 days, Joseph had his brothers brought before him. "Let one of you stay in prison, while the rest of you go home," he said. "Take the corn to your people, but bring me your youngest brother." The brothers did as Joseph commanded them. The famine continued its course. When all the corn had been consumed, Jacob said to his sons, "Go again to Egypt and buy us a little food." But one of them answered, "We cannot go unless you send our brother Benjamin with us." Therefore, the brothers took Benjamin with them and went down into Egypt. They also took money and presents with them. When Joseph saw Benjamin, he said, "God be good to you, my son." Joseph was so filled with joy that he rushed into his own room and wept Then Joseph washed his face and went back to his brothers. He invited them to eat with him, and they drank and were merry. Joseph could no longer wait to tell his brothers who he was. He ordered everyone else from the room, and in tears said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still living?" His brothers were afraid and could not answer him at once. Again, Joseph addressed them tenderly. "Do not be afraid. It was not bad that you sold me into this country. God sent me to Egypt to help you in this famine." The brothers then returned to their father in Canaan, bringing many gifts from Joseph. He also sent a wagon to bring his father to him. When Jacob heard that his son Joseph was still living, he was very happy. He said, "I will go and see my son before I die." Before leaving for Egypt, Jacob offered sacrifices to God. One night, God appeared to him and said, "Jacob, Jacob." And Jacob answered, "Here I am." God said to him, "I am the most mighty God of your father. Fear not. Go down into Egypt, for I will make a great nation of you there. I shall accompany you, and I shall bring you back here again." And Jacob rose up from the place where he had offered the sacrifices to Almighty God and went to Egypt with his sons, wives, grandsons, and all his belongings. He was riding on the wagon which the king of the Egypt had sent to fetch him. All the persons of the house of Jacob entered into Egypt. All in all, they were 70. Judah, one of the sons of Jacob, went ahead to tell Joseph that his father was coming. When Joseph heard this news, he started out to meet his father. On seeing him, Joseph put his arms around his father and wept. Then Jacob said to Joseph, "Now I shall die with joy, for I have seen your face." And Joseph said to his brothers, I will go up and tell the king that all my brothers and my father's household who were before in the land of Canaan are coming to me in the land of Egypt. I shall tell the king that you are shepherds and that your occupation is to feed cattle. I shall inform the king that your flocks came with you from Canaan to Egypt. Then Joseph went to see the king of Egypt and spoke in favor of his father and his brothers. The king loved Joseph very much and gave the land of Goshen for the family of Jacob. After this, Joseph brought in Jacob to present him to the king. The king asked Jacob, "How old are you?" Jacob answered, "The days of my pilgrimage are 130 years, few and evil, and they have not come up to the days of the pilgrimage of my father." And blessing the king, he went out. The king of Egypt told Joseph to help Jacob and his sons. For many years, the children of Jacob were happy in the land of Egypt. The family of Jacob had been in Egypt for 17 years. When Joseph heard that his father was sick, he went to see him at once. At that time, Jacob was 147 years old. He said to Joseph, "I am dying, but God will be with you. He will take care of you and will take you back into the land of your fathers." When all his sons were around him, Jacob told them about the things that would happen to each one of them. The 12 sons of Jacob were to be the leaders of the 12 tribes of Israel. The greatest blessing given by Jacob before dying was imparted to Judah. Jacob said to Judah, "You shall rule over your enemies. The sons of your father shall bow down before you. The scepter shall not be taken away from Judah till he comes that is to be sent, and who shall also be the expectation of nations." These words of Jacob contain a prophecy because Jacob foretells very clearly the time when the Messiah will come. The prophecy of Jacob was accomplished when Herod, the first foreigner, ruled over Judah. At that time, the scepter passed from Judah to Herod. It was also at that time that Jesus Christ was born, as foretold by Jacob before dying.